welcome back to a new video. Here we are again, we are looking at SPRT. SPRT in the last week did see a bit of a decrease actually, but things are looking like they could potentially be on the way back up. We can see already on Friday we did have quite a flat day, to be honest, which is completely fine. Ultimately in the past week, like I can see on these 5-day charts, we had a pretty rough start to the week. Thursday and then onto Friday was quite rough as well. Now Friday did see quite a flat day, as I mentioned, and even a little bit of an increase towards the end of the day. In this video we are talking about what this means and obviously giving a quick technical analysis on this stock as well, alongside looking at some catalysts which could be coming up in the next week. If all of that sounds good, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel. We talk about all different sorts of stocks. Guys, if it's popular right now, it will be spoken about on this channel, and if you guys like videos on SPRT, again, leave a like and subscribe. I will know that you guys enjoy it and I will subsequently make more content around this particular stock. But now we're going to jump into this one and look at SPRT and what we are seeing for this stock in the past week. And we're going to start off over here actually on Google Trends, because as I did mention in our BBIG video, this does kind of show us what people are thinking about this stock. So what I've typed in here is SPRT stock, which is obviously a search term, and we're going to go over to worldwide for this to see how people are searching about this on the internet, you know, over the entire world. So ultimately what we are seeing is from late August, we are seeing a big spike in interest, as you would expect. Now from late August into where we are right now in early September, we are seeing a bit of a decrease, to be quite frank, with the interest for the stock. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, it just has gone down a little bit. Bear in mind guys, it was quite flat before, and obviously now it is kind of returning to those levels. As the price did rocket quite quickly, we saw a lot of, searches around this term, but unfortunately it is dropping a little bit at the minute. Now again, part of this could potentially be due to the fact that we have had a long weekend this weekend, so for the last 3 days not really anybody would have been searching about stocks too much anyway, so it is going to be quite low in that period. We'll just have to see what this data is looking like tomorrow and seeing if that does reflect anything going forwards, when looking at the stock. Now again, just to gauge interest in the community a bit further, we do actually have a StockTwits page for this stock, and we can see it has 32.5k followers, which really isn't too bad at all. It's a really big number for a stock like this, in my opinion. We can see that recently message volume is falling because, whilst the price has been falling, not too many people have been talking about it. As I mentioned over there on Google, whilst the weekend has been going on, there's not really been too much speak about stocks anyway, and there usually isn't on most stocks, so this is not really anything to be worried about, in my opinion, either, necessarily. Now the sentiment has gone down by 0.01%. You can see most recently sentiment is going down because we have seen that big increase in price and then a decrease subsequently. Again, some of this will be people trying to spread FUD, as we know, which is a fear, uncertainty and doubt. Some of this will be people who are genuinely bearish on the stock, but again, StockTwits is not necessarily a perfect way to gauge interest on the stock. But we do have some really good things coming up for this stock in the next week or so. I think this does show us that good things could be happening for the stock. So we're going to have a look at the actual price action in just a moment, but first I want to focus over here on the catalyst that we do have coming up, and this is coming from investorplace.com, and this is speaking about what is happening on the 10th. So what is happening on the 10th with this stock? We can see that we do actually have a merger announcement, and this is set to be voted upon on the 10th. So just to read this quick paragraph, basically SPRT is holding a special meeting on the 10th in which they're voting on a merger with Greenridge Generation Holdings. And again, this is going to require more than 50% of owners to approve the deal, but either way, I think some people may be anticipating good news from this, and I think into the next week or two we definitely could see some more purchases of the stock, and I think that definitely could be based on this. I think that would be a good thing to see in the next few days. Now let's have a look at what the options are telling us. Now this is coming from barchart.com. Now let's have a look at this info. So basically on bar chart we can see how many are in the money down here, as you would expect, all the way up to 21.50. Now really we don't really have too much volume for this at all. We can see the biggest volume here was that solid $20, as I spoke about in our BBIG video as well. Oftentimes people do like to go for those big round numbers, and fortunately in this one it did hit 20. We can see even at 20 only 1,185. So I'm not really expecting too much of a move off options, really, in my opinion. These are the options expiring in 7 days, by the way, so, it's anticipating what's going on for this week. Yeah, and it's not really too much info in there at all. We can see the next big The next big volume, in my opinion, is down here at the $25 mark. Again, it's a big round number. It makes sense that people have gone for that, but unfortunately at the moment that is out of the money. Now, similarly, when we go over to the puts, we can see not really too much volume for puts as well. We have the biggest volume for puts down here at $20, and these are currently out of the money, which is good for the longs, but yeah, even that is still quite low volume at 1,186. So really, we are seeing not too much movement based off the options, in my personal opinion. I think the options here don't matter too much when we look to the data on those. So now what we're going to do is quickly look on the technical analysis side of things, and you guys will know by now how this works. We're going to look at the more simple charts to start us off with, and we're going to start off on the 1 day, which was Friday. Now Friday was down by 25%. This is $7.86. I would assume a lot of this happened in the pre-market hours and the post hours from the previous day, because when we look at the actual chart, we can see, yeah, we did fall a little bit from the open, which was at a price of about $22.80, but realistically from there it wasn't too much of a fall at all. So we saw a bit of a drop in the morning until about 9:40. Now from there, a lot of volatility occurred. 10 o'clock saw highs of the day at 23.90 roughly, and from there a big fall. Now we saw some consolidation, in my opinion. Lows of that was at $20.70, and a average range of that was about the low $21 mark. So for all of the period from about 11:30 until about 1:30, we saw some decent consolidation in the $21 mark roughly, so I'm happy with that. And then a bit of a push up towards the end of the day. This push ended at, in my opinion, about 256, and then from 3 until about 4 we just saw a small steady decline. Not really anything to worry about, in my opinion. So clearly in the actual trading hours shown on screen, nothing really too bad did happen, in my opinion. I think this is good. Now overall, in the past 5 days, you guys will know this stock has taken an absolute beating. We've fallen down from this point here, which was a high on Monday last week, which was at $40.38. Now from there we have fallen quite a decent bit, but like I said, Friday is seeing a bit of recovery. Now one thing that we have seen in a few other quote-unquote short squeeze stocks, as people like to call them, and my example is going to be potentially both AMC and GME. In those two stocks, we did see a big rise, as you guys will know. It fell back down for a very long time. People thought nothing was happening with this stock, and then it continued to rise. So I'm not saying that is going to happen with Sprt, because we just do not know, but I'm not saying it is impossible either, because like I said, these things are just hard to predict based on what just we personally think. But it is something that definitely could happen, in my opinion, in the next few days and weeks. But now we're going to have a look on the more technical side and see what we are seeing from here. So for this, we're going to have a look at the 5-day data and what we are seeing over here, because this does show us a more inclusive view, in my opinion. What we are seeing down here on the 5-day really isn't too bad. We are seeing a moving average almost true to where we are right now. It's only a few cents above where we currently are, so that is nothing to be concerned about. We are basically trading upon that. Bear in mind, guys, it is going to be a little bit higher than where it is, than where we are right now, because it is a lagging indicator, so it does make sense. The RSI figure down here is at 46. Now 50 is neutral, 46 is 4 points away from neutral. It's not overbought, it's not oversold, it is nothing to be worried about, in my opinion. It's exactly where we want it to be, and we are seeing some pretty flat action on the MACD. However, I would argue that it does look ever so slightly bearish, in my opinion, just based on that little fall that we have seen towards the end of Friday. So really nothing to be concerned about, in my opinion. On price action, the indicators are not looking too bad at all. And again, ultimately into Monday, where we are right now, if we are going to see anything, I would love to see a bit of a push upwards. Again, consolidation at this level would be nice, but ultimately a small push upwards would be what I would be looking to see next. Again, if Monday is red, that definitely could potentially be a sign of things to come, depending on how much it does fall by. But we've had a long weekend. We could have anticipation of good things obviously of that September the 10th date. If those two things are true, if we do see more interest around this, and if we do see more interest around this stock, I don't see any reason why it cannot climb into the next week. But I want to hear your opinions down below, so do make sure to drop them. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.